After that soulful rendition, I request the President of the High Court Bar Association, Advocate Atul Pandey, to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Uday Lalit with a bouquet.
May I request Advocate Vaishali Khadekar, Secretary, Maharashtra Federation of Women Lawyers, to kindly welcome Madam Amita Lalit with flowers.
I request Secretary Amol Jaltare to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Gavai with flowers.
I request Advocate Pankaj Tidke to come forward and welcome Honorable Shri Justice Deepankar Datta.
I request Advocate Sharad Bhattar to kindly accord a floral welcome to Honorable Shri Justice V.S. Sirpurkar.
May I request Advocate Madhav Lakhe to kindly welcome Honorable Shri Justice P.B. Varare.
I request Advocate Prithviraj Chauhan to welcome Honorable Shri Justice S.B. Shukre with a bouquet.
I request Advocate Vishwajit Oberoi to kindly welcome with flowers Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Chandurkar.
I request Advocate Akshaya Kshirsagar to welcome Honorable Shri Justice B.P. Dharmadhikari with flowers.
I request Advocate Asif Qureshi, Member, Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, to kindly welcome Honorable Shri Justice Uday Lalit.
On behalf of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, I request Bar Council member Advocate Parijat Pandey to kindly accord a floral welcome to Honorable Shri Justice B.R. Gavai.
I request Advocate Anil Govardipe, Member, Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, to kindly come forward and welcome Honorable Shri Justice Deepankar Datta.
I invite Advocate Ketki Joshi, Government Pleader, Bombay High Court, Nagpur Bench, to kindly welcome Honorable Shri Justice Uday Lalit with a bouquet.
I request the ASGI Advocate Nandesh Deshpande to kindly come forward and welcome Honorable Shri Justice Uday Lalit.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you, guests. I now request the honorable guests on the dais to kindly light the traditional lamp and inaugurate today's function.
May I call upon the President, High Court Bar Association, Shri Atul Pandey, to deliver his welcome address.
The Chief Justice of Honorable Shri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, esteemed persona of Indian judiciary, accompanied by his better half, Mrs. Amruta U. Lalit. Chief guest of today's function, My Lord Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Gavai, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Guest of honor, My Lord Honorable Shri Justice Dipankar Datta, the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court. Guest of honor, Honorable Shri Justice V.S. Sirpurkar, former Judge, Supreme Court of India. Honorable Shri Justice P.B. Varade, Judge, Bombay High Court. Honorable Shri Justice Sunil Shukre, Judge, Bombay High Court. Honorable Shri Justice Atul Chandurkar, Judge, Bombay High Court. Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Dharmadhikari, former Chief Justice, Bombay High Court. All Honorable Judges of Bombay High Court. Honorable Judges of Subordinate Courts and Tribunals, respected Senior Counsels and colleagues, members of the Bar, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to one and all. We have assembled today to felicitate a legendary who requires no introduction due to his outstanding achievements both as a senior advocate of the Supreme Court, then as a judge of the Supreme Court, and now as the Chief Justice of India. I, on behalf of High Court Bar Association Nagpur, warmly welcome Honorable Shri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit. It is our esteemed privilege and honor for High Court Bar Association Nagpur to felicitate Honorable Shri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit. Our heart is filled with proud and immense pleasure on the appointment of Honorable Justice Uday Umesh Lalit as the Chief Justice of India on 27th August 2022. Honorable Justice Lalit enrolled with the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa as an advocate in June 1983. Initially, he started his practice in the High Court of Bombay and later on he shifted to Delhi in January 1986. He was designated as the Senior Advocate of Supreme Court of India on 29th April 2004. My Lord also appeared as amicus curiae in many matters and was also appointed Special Public Prosecutor for CBI to conduct trial in all 2G spectrum matters under the orders of the Supreme Court. My Lord was also member of the Supreme Court Legal Service Committee for 2 terms. As a senior advocate, My Lord was among the most sought after lawyer in the country and had a lucrative practice arguing most of the high courts in the country apart from the Supreme Court. When My Lord was practicing as the senior counsel, the members of the Nagpur Bar have been very fortunate for being recipients of his love and affection while briefing him in the Supreme Court. Maybe My Lord, because of his own fond memories with the region, when his father, Shri U.R. Lalit, presided as the Honorable Judge at Nagpur bench of the Bombay High Court. My Lord's patience in understanding the matter from the briefing lawyers and his calmness in most difficult situation in the court while arguing have been the hallmark of the personality and reasons for his stellar performances, which we all have witnessed over several years. Many members often recollect how My Lord indirectly through his conferences with the Nagpur lawyers has shaped their thinking by his incisive queries and has influenced their manner of presentation of a brief, thus helping them to become better lawyers. When the call of duty to adorn the bench came, My Lord gave up his roaring practice without a thought, and it speaks volumes of his commitment to the institution of judiciary and has been a great gain for the Supreme Court, and we are grateful for that and shall always remain indebted to him for his sacrifice. My Lord, after taking over as the Chief Justice of India, seems to have a blueprint ready with him. As a judge of the Apex Court, we all witnessed to the outstanding conduct of proceeding in his court and the extraordinary courtesy extended to the members of the bar. My Lord has authored several landmark judgments and has been a member of the benches deciding the triple talaq case, conviction of absconding liquor baron for contempt, conviction under POSCO Act, to name a few. We trust and hope that My Lord's tenure shall be a defining moment for the Supreme Court, and My Lord shall carve out a special place for himself in the annals of history. High Court Bar Association Nagpur is filled with the great sense of gratitude for giving us an opportunity to felicitate my Lord for his accomplishment. We are overwhelmed to welcome you, my Lord Justice Uday Umesh Lalit at HCBA Nagpur, which is in its centenary year of establishment. We are hoping to welcome you again during Grand Centenary Year celebration. I, on behalf of members of High Court Bar Association Nagpur, once again congratulate my Lord and wish him a very bright, smooth and successful tenure of the Chief Justice of India. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Shri Justice V.S. Sirpurkar has been our constant inspiration and guide, and in fact adorns the place of a father figure to us at HCBA. I now request Honorable Shri Justice V.S. Sirpurkar to kindly enlighten this august gathering.
Honorable Mr. Justice Uday Lalit, Honorable Mr. Justice Bhushan Gawai, Honorable Chief Justice of Bombay High Court Dipankar Datta, all the other colleagues sitting on the dais. There are many who are sitting in front of me who have been the judges, who are the judges, and who might be the judges in future. My dear lady judges, my dear judges from the original side, appellate side, and so on and so forth. The learned lawyers, all the lawyers are learned, unless otherwise proved. All the learned lawyers, senior lawyers, junior lawyers, not so junior lawyers, and not so senior lawyers. Friends, I have been given 10 minutes. I am going to utilize, I don't know whether I am going to utilize all the 10 minutes, because firstly it is very difficult to speak about Justice Lalit in 10 minutes. He has appeared before me when I was in the Supreme Court, at least in 100 cases. And while arguing, a smile never left his face. His choice of language, choice of words was immaculate. And more immaculate was the manner in which he pressed his points. He knew exactly what the judge is thinking about it. And when he realized that the judge is not with him, he very gracefully stopped his arguments. He was not like that though language still, he argues still. I have seen the rise of Justice Lalit when he was not judge of the Supreme Court, when he was a senior counsel. I have seen Justice Lalit with his father, Umesh Bhaiya Lalit. I call him Umesh Bhaiya because I was a very frequent, I had very frequent appearances in the court of Umesh Bhaiya Lalit. His masterly hold on criminal law was phenomenal, and he was a judge who didn't. I remember once I was holding a paper and standing in the court somewhere in 1974. And he said, "Young man, why are you standing here for quite some time?" I said, "My lord, I have a very unusual request to make." "And what is that request?" I said, "I want a bail in a matter of a civil revision which I have not filed as yet." He said, "But how that can be?" I said, "Because I have not got the copy of the judgment. The copy of the judgment will be coming somewhere in 15 minutes. and thereafter only I will be able to file my civil division. He said, but are you sure you have a point in civil division? I said, yes, my lord, I have a point in my civil division. He said, all right, young man, give me that paper, and wrote a bail order. That was Justice Lalit, the senior. In Supreme Court, perhaps I was the only judge who correctly pronounced the surname of Justice Lalit. I told them 10 times that he is not Lalit, he is Lalit. They were all, almost all of them were non-Maharashtrians and never knew the difference between and L. Be that as it may, Justice Lalit has been very ably supported in his career by his wife, Mrs. Amita Lalit, because, I say this because, to leave the practice, it was not a large practice, it was a vast practice that we enjoyed during his days as a senior advocate in Supreme Court. You must be having the little idea of how much a senior advocate, much less a senior advocate like like Uday Lalit used to earn as a lawyer. To leave all that and to join judgeship was not a very happy, not a very easy decision. And I'm sure Mrs. Amita Lalit, who very ably supported the career of her husband, who is still now running a very good school in Delhi, in Noida, she probably was the reason why Uday Lalit accepted to be a judge, thankfully for Indian judiciary. I have nothing more to say excepting that, sir, under you, the judiciary is likely to see a new light of quickness, of consideration, and most of all, the factor which is much wanted from the judiciary, the uprightness. We are sure that in you we are going to find the uprightness of the judiciary. Whenever in this country the emergency has arrived, not that emergency, the situation has arrived like emergency, this judiciary has bailed out this country, and therefore I am a great admirer of all the persons who are in the judiciary, either as the judges or as the lawyers or as the litigants also. Because but for the litigants, the judiciary will not survive. Be that as it may, I offer my sincere most congratulations to Justice Uday Lalit. I was very happy to read the news that on his first appearance on his first emergence as the Chief Justice of India, his father, our Umesh Bhaiya, was present in his full robes as a senior advocate. He watched his son working as a Chief Justice for good 30-40 minutes and then left the court with a bow to the chair. Gentlemen, very, very few people have this good fortune of seeing one's son rising to the position of Chief Justice of India while working as a senior advocate in that very court. Be that as it may, I wish a very happy life, I wish a very healthy life, and I wish a very fruitful life to Justice Lalit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let us endeavor to argue with a smile and choose our words wisely. The Bombay High Court is under the able administration of Sri Justice Deepankar Datta, having the perfect blend of discipline, organization, and judicial vision, with a special mention that every bench of the Bombay High Court is flourishing under the close supervision of my Lord. May I request Honorable Sri Justice Deepankar Datta to address this gathering.
Honorable Sri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Chief Justice of India, Mrs. Amita Lalit, Honorable Sri Justice Bhushan Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India and the Chief Guest for the evening, Honorable Sri Justice Vikas Sepurkar, former Judge Supreme Court of India and the guest of honor, my esteemed sister and brother judges of the Bombay High Court present in this auditorium today, Honorable Sri Justice B.P. Dharmadhikari, my predecessor in office, Mr. Anil Singh, Additional Solicitor General, Mr. Ashutosh Kumbhakoni, Advocate General for Maharashtra, senior advocates, members of the Nagpur High Court Bar Association, Mr. Atul Pandey, President High Court Bar Association, Mr. Amol Jaltare, Secretary High Court Bar Association, Nagpur, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to one and all. From the applause, I could realize that I had correctly pronounced the surname of my captain. I became a judge when my Chief Justice was Justice Sepurkar. But sir, even today you can't pronounce my surname correctly. It happens, sir. India is so diverse. You know, it's difficult to pick up the language of the other states, although I must give credit to Justice Sepurkar. He is very proficient in Marathi, Hindi, English, and whatnot. Madrasi, Tamil. We have gathered here today to felicitate our Chief Justice of India. Individually, we may have congratulated His Lordship, but I take this opportunity of requesting my sisters and brothers to give a standing ovation to His Lordship. Sir, we are proud to have you as our captain. It's not that I know my Chief Justice for too long. It was in early March 2021 that I had the occasion to interact with Justice Lalit for the first time. I had been to Delhi to invite His Lordship to attend the inaugural function of the High Court building at Goa. While I was ushered by the attendant to the drawing room, I could find paintings on the walls, artifacts on the floors, and I could immediately sense that here is a judge who is an art connoisseur. I was made to sit for a little while, and thereafter walked in a tall gentleman with white hair, white moustache, and to my utter surprise, addressed me by stretching his arm, "Sir, how are you?" Let me be very frank. I have never been approached by a Supreme Court judge like this, calling me as sir. At that moment, my mind had gone back to my school days. In our history class, we were told of a battle, the Battle of Hyderabad, which took place in 326 BC between Alexander the Great and King Porus. Alexander the Great defeated King Porus and brought him in chains before him, and thereafter asked King Porus, "How do you want me to treat you?" King Porus answered boldly, "Treat me as a king would treat another king." Vastly impressed, Alexander the Great gave the kingdom to the king, Porus. This is what is mutual respect. And this lesson I have learned from Justice Lalit, that be you ever so high, you treat a human as a human. You don't keep in mind the high position you hold. I was there as the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court. It was Justice Lalit's generosity that His Lordship was showing respect to the exalted chair that I hold. Sadly, this is fast waning in our society. I will not talk here about the judicial skills of His Lordship or the landmark judgments that His Lordship has delivered. Why? The answer is simple. Article 141. The judgments are binding precedents on the High Courts. So, what I intend to do is, I will share some anecdotes, and through this, I would like to send a message to the younger generation of lawyers here, who may not be knowing how His Lordship ascended to the throne of the Chief Justice of India. His Lordship has the rare distinction of appearing as an advocate in all the high courts of the country, except High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and the High Court of Sikkim. If you consider the career graph of His Lordship was born in Solapur, then went to Bombay for his practice, had a 2-year stint then, and then went further up to Delhi as a counsel, then as a senior counsel, and then as a judge, and finally as the Chief Justice of India. Can you ever imagine that in those days, when there was no virtual court hearings, His Lordship on 2 occasions appeared before 3 high courts on a single day? The first time was in Karnataka High Court, the second before the Supreme Court, and third before the Punjab and Haryana High Court. This was repeated. Instead of Karnataka, it was Andhra Pradesh High Court, and then Supreme Court and the Punjab and Haryana High Court. So in those days, when virtual hearings were virtually unknown, this is indeed a great feat which is unparalleled. Since I did not have the opportunity to work with His Lordship, I had to, engage some sources for getting information. And what I find is this: His Lordship usually had 15 to 20 matters on the board before the Supreme Court. And he was prepared for all the matters. This is why I say the junior members must remember 15 to 20 matters, being fully prepared in all the matters. And the other side of the coin, in case he could not appear before the court in any matter because he was arguing before another court, the standing instructions to the clerk was to refund the amount to the client immediately. His Lordship always had at least 3 fallback arguments in each case. If the court was not with him on any one point, he would move on to the second point. If the court does not agree, to the third point, and then, as Justice Sirpurkar said, with a smile, his Lordship would take his seat. I'm also told that in a lecture delivered to the lawyers in the High Court at Nagpur at the request of the Bar Association, his Lordship had said that to become successful, a lawyer needs to have 3 essential attributes. The first is to know the facts. The second is to know the law. And the third, maybe more important than the first 2, that you know the judge. And sir, you know, when I had not even joined the profession, my father's contemporary judge in the Calcutta High Court, he had advised me that go to the court and find out, I'm saying it in Bengali, kon bata ki chai. Bata is sort of a slang language attributed to the judges, that every judge has his own likes and dislikes. So your first lesson before you join the bar is to find out which judge wants what. His Lordship never used to bargain for any fees, as money was not important for him. To him, acceptance by the bench of a well-delivered judgment, considering his arguments, brought him satisfaction more than anything else. I find 2 similarities with Justice Lalit. His Lordship was born on a 9th, I was also born on a 9th. And secondly, I am very fond of ice creams, so was he. There is an ice cream outlet in southern Nagpur called Dinshaw. And I am told his Lordship used to enjoy most of the flavors that were placed on the board and which were available at the counter. But because of certain health problems, his Lordship has now reduced the intake. That is why he reduced the intake. Its simplicity, humility, kind-heartedness, righteousness, and empathy can be said to coalesce in one human being. Chief Justice Lalit would definitely be counted as the forerunner. His Lordship's leadership as the chairperson of NALSA is there for everyone to appreciate. Phenomenal seems to be an understatement. It was indeed my privilege to be part of the legal aid movement with his Lordship as the leader. It is said that behind every successful man is the hands of a lady. What I had been provided with, the information, has been disclosed by Justice Sirpurkar, that Madam left practice to bring up their 2 sons, the elder Harshad, who is now settled in the US, and the younger Shreyash, who is now a practicing lawyer in the Supreme Court. He happens to be a 4th generation lawyer. Madam has opened a preschool which now has around 250 children, and in the recent past it was adjudged as the best preschool in the entire country. Although the tenure of his Lordship seems to be short, that has not deterred his Lordship from taking major steps to bring about reforms in the Supreme Court of India. Every well-meaning person would welcome any step that is taken in the right direction to uphold the cause of the downtrodden, the needy and the marginalized section of society, to make justice accessible to them. Since his Lordship is well and truly aware of the problem of dearth of judges in the Bombay High Court, I am more than certain that the day is not too far away when we shall have sufficient number of judges not only to deliver quick, responsive and timely justice, but also to relieve the burden of those colleagues of mine who work untiringly till late hours in the day. I will conclude by reciting a couplet authored by one of the members of the Maharashtra Judicial Service, which aptly describes his lordship. If my Hindi pronunciation is wrong, kindly pardon me. गिरिवर कहूं तो पर्वत की ऊंचाइयां नजर आती है, गगन कहूं तो इंद्रधनुषी प्रतिभाएं नजर आती है, सरिता कहूं तो करुणा एवं सेवा के दो किनारे नजर आते हैं, ज्ञानी कहूं तो शब्दों का सार एवं भाषा का माधुर्य नजर आता है। ऐसे अनेक प्रतिभाओं के धनी है हमारे माननीय उदय उमेश ललित, मुख्य न्यायाधीश सर्वोच्च न्यायालय।
Thank you, my lord, for bringing forth such wonderfully unknown snippet from his lordship Shri Lalit's life. Indeed, such little lessons encourage all of us to be a tiny bit better, not only as lawyers, but also as human beings. Honorable Shri Justice B.R. Gavai is also a pillar of strength for our association and a mentor for all our ventures. We are truly grateful to his lordship for always being there with us. I now request Honorable Shri Justice B.R. Gavai to kindly address the gathering.
My Lord, Honorable Shri Justice Uday Lalit, the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Srimati Amita Vaini, Honorable Shri Justice Dipankar Datta, the Honorable Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Srimati Datta, Honorable Justice Shirpurkar, Honorable Justice Warare, Honorable Justice Sunil Shukre, Honorable Justice Atul Tandurkar, Honorable Justice Bhushan Dharmadhikari, all my esteemed colleagues, past and present here in large numbers. I won't be in position to take name of all of them, but I will only refer to my seniors, Justice Radhakrishnan, who has come specifically from Bombay, Justice Rohi, Justice Chavan, Justice Srimati Naik, and all other past and present colleagues. Shri Atul Pandey, the President of my High Court Bar Association, Nagpur, and Shri Amol Jaltare, the Secretary, as well as all other office bearers of the association. Shri Kumbhakuni, the Honorable Advocate General for State of Maharashtra, Shri Anil Singh, the Additional Solicitor General, India of Maharashtra, Shri Agrawal, the Principal District Judge, Nagpur, the Registrar General of the Bombay High Court and all the members of the registry, Shri Rahul Pandey, the Information Commissioner, Nagpur, Shri Sanjeev Kadam, the President of Western India High Court Bar Association, Bombay, Shri Patil, the Secretary, Srimati Joshi, the learned acting government pleader, Shri Deshpande, the Assistant Solicitor General of India, all the office bearers, the past vice presidents, presidents and members of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, and all the lawyer friends, not only from Nagpur, but from different parts of Maharashtra who are present in such a huge capacity. A very good evening to all of you. It's a matter of great pride, it's a moment of great pride for all of us that we are assembled here to felicitate a person who is very close to our hearts. Though Justice Lalit was not born in Nagpur, nor was he practicing here for a large time, but he has deep roots with Nagpur. He had a schooling in Nagpur. He had those memories of residing in Saudamini, where his father, when a judge of this court, was residing there. He has a big circle of friends amongst the lawyers at Nagpur, some of whom, like me, were elevated to the bench. When his housewarming ceremony was held at Noida, I recollect that there was a huge number of his friends who had assembled on that occasion. To speak after two eminent speakers like the evergreen Vallubhau and the Honorable Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, who has done deep research on the life of my Lord the Chief Justice, it's difficult to carry on. I could have very well said that I agree with Honorable Justice Shirpurkar and Justice Datta. It's a great moment for pride for me because I am getting this opportunity to felicitate such a person. It would have been a more privileged moment to have been the first one to felicitate him in a public function, but however, Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra snatched that opportunity yesterday. As a matter of fact, I must congratulate Atul Pandey and his team that they had booked my Lord's date at least 2 months in advance and fixed this function, which was originally to be held on 11th. But it was postponed since my Lord Justice Lalit wanted it to be Nagpur, the first place to be visited out of Delhi after his elevation. That will show how much love and affection he has for this place, he has for us. And it's again a matter of great coincidence and a great satisfaction that this felicitation is taking on a hall which is immediately adjacent to a place which is a great source of inspiration for my Lord in his life. My Lord regularly visits that place at least twice or thrice in a year. I won't trouble you with his achievements. All of us know, we have all read articles immediately prior to his appointment, immediately after appointment, his achievements as a lawyer, his achievements as a judge, his contribution as an amicus curiae in various matters where he was appointed to assist the court in various issues, maybe environmental issues, the issues concerning the criminal law. His giving up lucrative practice to say yes to the call of the duty and serve the country for last so many years as a judge. He has a very pleasing personality, a poise, a calmness, warmth. When I became judge of the Supreme Court in 2019, it was in the vacation, and then thereafter, when after vacation we assembled, I was a newcomer. We were sitting in our lounge. So my Lord just walked in and started embracing each other and saying congratulations. So it was sort of a surprise for me. So I asked him, sir, what is this congratulations? He said, we should congratulate each other for seeing this date. The God has been so kind to us that He has made us possible to see this morning. And so therefore, every day morning, whenever all of us meet in the lounge, he congratulates each other, he hugs each other. That is the warmth he has towards all his colleagues. And like the learned Chief Justice just now mentioned, the humility in him, that he addressed him as a sir. We see that humility in him every day. I've been witnessing it for at least continuously for last 3.5 years. I have been beneficiary of it earlier also when he was a lawyer. I recollect once when I had gone to Delhi and Mr. Harish Sadhu's mother had died and there was a ceremony, puja ceremony at one of the houses in the Luton zone, and I was staying in Maharashtra then. So my lord was to attend some, I think, drama or some other festival at Kamani, and he graciously gave me a lift up to Maharashtra then, which was on the way to Kamani. So he's very friendly. He possesses a very sharp, brilliant mind. He is witty, he is widely read, and has a deep knowledge of even Sanskrit. On a Ganpati Puja day, he holds puja every year, and all the judges and his friends are invited. I recollect 2 years ago, he was requested by someone to recite Atharva Shisha, and he recited it so fluently in such a pleasant and melodious voice that it was surprising that a man who is a lawyer par excellence is also excellent in these attitudes. He has a great legacy from his grandfather, Rangaji Lalit, who travelled from Konkan to Solapur and established a name for himself, and his great father, Lalit, about whom Pallava has recently spoken. Though I did not have an opportunity to appear before him, I had a pleasure of hearing him in my court. It was one of the greatest memories that I will cherish in my life. Though he is deeply religious, but he is truly secular. And as I just mentioned some time back, that it's a great matter of great coincidence that this function is being held in the precincts of the place he worships so immensely. His innovative and his out-of-box thinking are the hallmarks of his career that I should say. The Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court just mentioned about his contribution in NALSA. I would say that only after he took over as the Executive Chairman of NALSA in April 2021, that NALSA, people came to know that NALSA exists. He took out an awareness program of 42 days, which was inaugurated by none else than the President of India. And for 42 days, after working for 5 full days in court, from Friday evening till Sunday night or Monday morning at times, he was traveling in nook and corner of India, making the citizens of the country aware of their rights. Because merely existence of right is of no use. Unless the citizen knows that he has a right to redress, he has a right to redressal and a right to remedy, the rights are useless. Under his innovative leadership, all the villages in the country were visited by the officers of the Legal Services Authority at least twice and at times more than 3 occasions. And he personally visited each and every state of the country. Under his leadership as chairman of NALSA, 3 mega events were held. The first one was the Chief Justices of all the courts in the country. The same was also inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India. Then a mega event was held at Jaipur. And lastly, for the first time, his concern for the trial judiciary in the country could be seen that for the first time, a mega conference was held in Delhi recently, just before he took over as the CJI, of all the principal district judges in the country on the secretaries of the Legal Services Authority. I don't think that NALSA would have been a known face in the country except for the Herculean task, Herculean efforts taken by my Lord Justice Lalit. As a CJI, he has recently taken over only a week back. And as one of our friends always used to say that he will have to catch a running train. And I would state that he has not only catched a running train, but is turning it into a bullet train. He had already started as to what would be his roadmap before he took over. He used to consult his colleagues as to what should be done. And I must say that he is a truly democratic leader. A CJI is the head of the family, not only of the Supreme Court, but the entire judiciary in the country. He had already his roadmap prepared as to what he has to do in whatever period that is available to him. And I must say that he is the first Chief Justice of India who has conveyed a full court meeting of all the judges of the Supreme Court within a couple of hours of him taking over as the Chief Justice of India. It was for the first time, because I have been there for almost now 3.5 years, and we always had a grievance that whatever ideas we have, we can't put it to anyone. Whatever problems we face, whatever the problems litigants face, we can't put it to anybody's, because whatever the chamber meetings were held earlier were only for the fixing of calendar, and sometimes designation, which also used to be decided by the first 3 or 5 judges and put to vote, and nobody used to differ with that. But for the first time, he held a brainstorming session of more than 3 hours, from 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 5 o'clock. We were sitting together. All the judges, including the junior-most judges, were asked what are their views. He solicited their views and came with the solution with what are the most challenging problems to the institution. The first one regarding the pendency of the old matters. The regular matters, they were never touched, because in the recent past, Mondays and Fridays used to be only for the miscellaneous days. Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, though non-miscellaneous days, they used to consume by only the notice, by matters after notice. And the litigants, we were standing in the corridors of justice for more than a period of 10 years, 12 years. They were totally neglected. Then there was an issue with regard to transparency of listing. The lawyers used to make a grievance that I have filed my case in 2020, but it is not being listed. As against that, somebody's case is being filed yesterday and listed on the other day. And therefore he came out with out-of-box idea, out-of-box solutions. He said that Mondays and Fridays will be NMDs, but on all other 3 days, the morning sessions would be totally devoted for the regular matters which are pending for more than 10 years, 12 years. And the second half would be devoted by more number of benches. In the morning session we have 12 benches, and in the second half we have 15 benches which are dealing with the miscellaneous matters. Then, because of the references which are made to 3 judges, they are pending, more than hundreds of such references are pending. And such references have a very cascading effect, because if one reference is decided, thousands of cases can be decided in the country, and therefore he decided that the 3 judges benches, there will be 6 3 judges benches will be specifically devoting their time for answering these references. Then after a long time, we are seeing that constitution benches are being formed. And as a result of this, in 1 week, old regular matters totaling to 106, which are pending for more than 10-12 years, have been decided finally in 4 days. The transfer petitions, which basically arise out of matrimonial matters, 418 transfer petitions have been decided in last 1 week. Miscellaneous matters amounting to 1233 have been decided in the last 1 week. And therefore, if He is an example to show as to what a man who desires, though at a short period, can bring so many changes. I know that all of us are eager to listen to him. I don't like to be a barrier between him and you. I must only mention and reiterate what has been said by Balluba and the Honorable Chief Justice, that behind every successful man stands a strong woman, and it is our strong Amita Vaini who has been instrumental, who has largely contributed to what he is today. We have seen her, she takes charge of all other affairs because of which he can fully devote his work, his time to work. Even in those days, 3-4 days, he had so many visitors, so many relatives coming from across the globe, but he did not spend much time at home because of Amita Vani. He used to take care of all the things, and he spent his entire day on Saturday with all of us. He was with the visitors who had come to attend his ceremony till 2 o'clock, then 2 o'clock, till 5 o'clock. He was with us. And therefore, I think that it is also our duty to congratulate her and felicitate her on this occasion. We know that, my lord, you have a short period, but then the number of days hardly counts. The imprint that you have already started putting on, you have already prepared a roadmap, and I'm sure that this period of, though a short period, will be a witness to a beginning of new era, a new era of transparency in the functioning of the Supreme Court, a new era of attending to the old cases, a new era of reducing the huge pendency of matters in the Supreme Court. Whatever path you will lay, I am sure that those who will follow your line of succession, it will be a star light for them, it will be like a guiding star for them. I take this opportunity, I am really grateful to the Shri Pandey and his team and office bearers for giving me an opportunity to felicitate my Lord Justice Lalit, not as a judge of the Supreme Court, but as a member of the High Court Bar Association, Nagpur. I heartily congratulate my Lord. I wish you all the success. I wish you good health to you and your family, and we will always cherish your memories. We will always follow whatever guiding light you will be providing for us. Thank you very much.
Once again, the legal fraternity at Nagpur has experienced my Lord's natural connect and affinity, feeling very special and coveted. Thank you, sir. We also feel privileged to know the new facets of our Honorable Chief Justice's persona. Nagpur city, or if I may specify the High Court at Nagpur, has witnessed distinctive judges and legal luminaries standing apart on the national platform. His Lordship, Sri Justice S.A. Bobde, former Chief Justice of India, has shared his greetings for the Honorable the Chief Justice, Sri Lalit. May I request Advocate Devendra Chauhan to read out the message to this august gathering.
Honorable the Chief Justice, my Lord Justice Uday, Lalit. My Lord, it is indeed a privilege to read out to my Lord the message from the former Chief Justice of India, my Lord Justice Sharad Bobde, my Lord, and I read to my Lord. It is indeed a matter of honor to the bar at Nagpur that someone so intimately connected to this great bar association should have been appointed as the Chief Justice of India. The members of the High Court Bar bench at Nagpur and the members of the bar cherish and celebrate this elevation. On my part, I heartily congratulate Justice Uday Lalit on his appointment as the Chief Justice of India. The appointment will bring a sense of dignity and learning to the high office, along with many other qualities of head and heart which the Justice Lalit possesses. My best wishes on the occasion of felicitation of Justice Lalit at the hands of Nagpur Bar Association. With best wishes, Sharad A. Bobde.
May I request Advocate Devendra Chauhan to kindly hand over the balls of greetings to Honorable Shri Justice Gavai. May I now request Honorable Shri Justice Gavai to kindly hand it over to the Honorable Chief Justice.
Thank you, my lord. We have all gathered here today to celebrate a momentous occasion in the history of the legal circles of India. It is with a feeling of eager delight that we welcome the appointment of my Lord Justice Uday Lalit as the Honorable the Chief Justice of India. We are thrilled that Nagpur has a small part to play in my Lord's life. Today, the High Court Bar Association takes this opportunity to commemorate this happy occasion when someone we consider our very own is adorning the highest judicial institution in the nation. I now request Advocate Devendra Chauhan to read out the citation to be presented to Honorable Shri Justice Uday Lalit on behalf of the High Court Bar Association.
My Lord the Chief Justice of India, my Lord, I am again indeed privileged to read out, my Lord, the citation on behalf of the High Court Bar Association. Your Lordship's accession as the Chief Justice of India is an event which is very dear to the heart of this association. Your humility, despite the high echelons that you have adorned, endears you to one and all. Clarity of thought and felicity of expression made your Lordship one of the most sought after lawyers and the bar's favorite judge. Your suave, soft but firm demeanor as a lawyer and a judge have always been a delight to watch. Your Lordship's reputation as a pragmatic judge has spread across the entire spectrum of society. You have indeed catalyzed our paradigm shift in the people's perception of judiciary and infused a whiff of fresh air with your new age work ethic, broad futuristic vision and passion for simplification and transparency. Also clearly palpable in your Lordship's unwavering focus on protecting the interest of the weak and marginalized. Popularity as a judge is a rare phenomenon. All-around ability, intellectual and interactional, is even more rare. But possession of both is truly exceptional. In fact, one of the words that truly describes your Lordships is exceptional. We cherish your Lordship's decades-old connect with this bar. In fact, this bar is your Lordship's extended family. This bar association participates with joy and elation at your Lordship's elevation is a privilege to facilitate on its own. Now therefore, all the members of the High Court Bar Association of Nagpur in its centenary year join in conferring your Lordship this citation of honor on this 3rd day of September 2022 with joy and respect and humility. Grateful.
May I call upon the President Shri Atul Pandey to kindly present the citation as a mark of reverence on behalf of High Court Bar Association, Nagpur.
I request Honorable Shri Justice B.R. Gavai to kindly felicitate Honorable Shri Justice Uday Lalit on behalf of the High Court Bar Association with a shawl, shrifer and a bouquet.
request the Honorable Shri Justice Dipankar Datta, Chief Justice Bombay High Court, to kindly come forward and felicitate the Honorable the Chief Justice.
I invite Honorable Shri Justice V.S. Sirpurkar to kindly present the Honorable the Chief Justice with a bouquet.
I request Honorable Shri Justice P.B. Varade to kindly felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice of India.
I invite Honorable Shri Justice S.B. Shukre to present a bouquet to my Lord Justice Lalit.
I request Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Chandurkar to kindly offer flowers to Honorable Shri Justice Lalit.
I invite Honorable Shri Justice B.P. Dharmadikari to accord a floral greeting to His Lordship.
May I request
The contribution of the First Lady of the Indian Judiciary cannot be allowed to go unnoticed. We are so glad to have Srimati Amita Lalit amongst us today. I invite the former President of the High Court Bar Association, Advocate Gauri Venkat Raman, to kindly felicitate Srimati Amita Lalit with a shawl and a bouquet.
I invite Advocate General of Maharashtra, Advocate Shri Ashutosh Kumbhakoni, to kindly come forward and felicitate my Lord Shri Justice Lalit.
I invite the Additional Solicitor General of India, Advocate Anil Singh, to kindly come on stage and felicitate my Lord Justice Lalit.
On behalf of the District Bar Association Nagpur, I invite President Association Advocate Kamal Satuja to kindly come forward and felicitate my Lord Justice Lalit.
On behalf of the Vidarbha Lady Lawyers Association, I invite President Advocate Padma Chandekar to kindly do the honors.
On behalf of CAT Bar Association Nagpur, I call upon Advocate Renuka Puranik Nalamwar, the Secretary, to kindly come forward and felicitate His Lordship.
On behalf of the DRT Bar Association, I request Advocate Sachin Fuladi, Secretary, to kindly come on stage.
On behalf of the Consumer Forum Bar Association, Nagpur, I invite Advocate Anuradha Deshpande to kindly felicitate my Lord Shri Justice Lalit.
And last but not the least, on behalf of the Income Tax Bar Association, Nagpur, I invite their secretary, Advocate Manoj Moryani, to do the honors.
Thank you, my lords. The atmosphere is charged. The moment is finally here when we experience this distinguished personality with simplicity, modesty, and excellence in a rare fusion. The Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Shri U. Lalit, has been amongst the outstanding few to be elevated to the Supreme Court as a practicing senior advocate. My Lord's journey at the bar from 1983 to 2014 can be traced at Mumbai, Delhi, and various other places in several special positions. May I now request His Lordship to kindly address the gathering, eagerly waiting for my Lord's words of wisdom.
My esteemed colleague, Justice Bhushan Gawai, Judge, Supreme Court of India, lady in my life, my wife, Amita, Justice Dipankar Doctor, Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, Justice Sirpurkar, former Judge of the Supreme Court, Justice Marali, Justice Shukri, Justice Chandorkar, all the other learned judges of the High Court who are present today, former Chief Justice of the Court, Justice B.P. Dharmadhikari, former judges of the High Court, Justice Radhakrishnan, Justice Chavan, Justice Naik, and pardon me if I have missed anybody's name, all the colleagues who are present here, the senior members, the junior members, and two illustrious names. Number one, Advocate General, State of Maharashtra. He went to the same school in Solapur. Anil Singh, learned Additional Solicitor General. The office bearers of this association, Mr. Pandey, the President, Mr. Jaltare, the Secretary, all the other persons who are present here, it's to you. As I stand before you, one gets very nostalgic, especially because of certain incidents narrated by Justice Sirpurkar and Chief Justice Datto. Actually, as I entered the hall, you know, in my mobile, one of the oldest photographs which I have, and the mobile flashes, 10-year-old or 12-year-old or 14 years old, is a picture of this very hall where Justice Sirpurkar, the then sitting judge of the Supreme Court, and I, as senior advocate coming from Supreme Court, we were sharing the dais in one of the conferences held by the High Court Bar Association, or the perhaps I think Maharashtra Bar Association or Bar Council. Very nice, fond memories of this particular city, this particular place, and the persons who I see in front of me or by my side. The incident which was narrated by Justice Sirpurkar, that he appeared in my father's court and on a sheet of paper a bail order was granted. When he narrated that incident to me for the first time, my immediate reaction was, why is it that I don't get such judges? You could get such judges when you were practicing. His immediate reaction was, he punched me in the stomach and said, if you had come to me when I was in Nagpur, when I was in Chennai, when I was in Uttarakhand or even in Calcutta, I would have done that, not in Supreme Court. So these are very lovely, fond memories. It was Justice Sirpurkar who saw to it that I was committee's counsel when the committee was formed under the directions of the then Vice President, the chairperson of Rajya Sabha, to go into the allegations against Justice P.D. Dinakaran. So I was appointed as counsel for the committee. So various fond memories then start flowing. And then I looked back and said that if my journey with law actually started in this city, and that was a very innocuous but a very momentous occasion in my life. My father was sworn in the year 1974, January. I had not attended his swearing in. I'd never seen my father work as a judge, so therefore I had never even attended his court. But when his term was about to expire, and the news started spreading that perhaps, 17th of January after 1976, thereafter, he won't be a judge of the High Court. That day, I went to Nagpur High Court. He was actually here stationed as a judge. And I went to that particular courtroom. And mind you, that's the first time that I saw lawyers in black robes, hustle, bustle in the corridors. And then I entered the court and I saw a judge sitting there on the dais for the first time. So that perhaps was my first brush with the legal profession. I was not a member of Nagpur High Court Bar Association at any juncture, but I've always been associated with Nagpur and its bar. I have appeared in this High Court on a number of occasions. As a matter of fact, when I saw some of the faces here sitting, like Justice Radhakrishnan, I appeared before him in Bombay. Justice Dharmadhikari, I appeared before him in Nagpur. There are so many judges before whom I have appeared. There are so many lawyers with whom I have fought many battles. Maybe I have fought battles against them, drawn swords against them. But that was all part of life. That was all part of one single progression in life. And that progression is something at every level there have been so many associates. Like for instance, Mr. Kumbhakoni, he and I went to same school in Solapur. So it's the association which then gives you that strength. Every person is like a book. If you read that person, there's a great learning opportunity. He or she tells you what exactly matters in life and to what extent can that person be a guiding light in your journey towards what the life constitutes. Every person, whether it is Justice Bhushan Gavai or Justice Dipankar Datta, I had the occasion to be in Calcutta High Court, and he showed me some of the rare exhibits in that court. And that shows the kind of attachment to what the profession, what this judgeship, what this service counts, and to what extent we give great importance to these milestones in our life. I have been very, very fortunate that I come from a family of lawyers. My grandfather started in 1920 in a district named Solapur. It is 102 years of unbroken chain. And as Justice Sirpurkar mentioned, perhaps I may be the happiest person that my earlier and next generation are still in practice when I step down in 3 months' time. So that's part of life. And it is the journey which you undertake. See, there's a very beautiful poem written by Rudyard Kipling. And it makes one emotional that it is not what you have covered, it is how you cover that. Pardon me. I have had the blessings of elders, the love of everybody around me, my friends, my colleagues, at the bar, or even in normal walks of life. They have provided me strength. They have given me always a helping hand, rendered a helping hand. And of all the persons, I must be thankful to my dear wife. She has stood like a rock of Gibraltar at every juncture. She understands me even before I say anything to her. So therefore, that's the kind of connection that we have developed. I'm thankful to her. This is here, I'm not here to make any promises except one, that I will do everything to the best of my ability, knowledge and belief. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my Lord, for such a profound address in a rare departure from your signature calm and collected manner. For a moment, I believe we all join your Lordship in realizing that the Honorable the Chief Justice of India is first and foremost a wonderful human being. Thank you, my Lord. We would like to take this opportunity to extend our gratitude to our esteemed dignitaries who have graced the occasion with their august presence. I request the President of the High Court Bar Association, Shri Atul Pandey, to present a token of our appreciation to Honorable Shri Justice Uday. Thank you, my Lord. I request Advocate Amol Jaltare, Secretary, to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice B.R. Gavai.
I request Advocate Pankaj Tidke to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice Deepankar Datta.
I request Shri Sharad Bhattar to present a token of our appreciation to Honorable Shri Justice V.S. Sirpurkar. I request Treasurer Madhav Lakhe to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice P.B. Varari.
I request Advocate Prithviraj Chauhan to kindly present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice S.B. Shukre.
I request Advocate Vishwajit Singh Oberoi to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Sandurkar.
I request Advocate Akshaya Shirsagar to kindly present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice B.P. Dharmadhikari.
Thank you, my lords. I now request Shri Amol Jaltare to propose the formal vote of thanks.
A very good evening and warm welcome to all the dignitaries sitting on and off the dais. Greetings to all on the auspicious occasion of Ganeshotsav and arrival of Shri Goddess Mahalakshmi. सर्व उपस्थितांना गणेशोत्सव आणि महालक्ष्मी निमित्ताने अनेक हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. It seems that we have come to the conclusion of the ceremony, but probably the crowd sitting over here is not willing to say goodbye to the guests today. As we have come to the conclusion of ceremony, I am here with a deep sense of gratitude, and my heart is filled with emotions and the anecdotes which my lords have shared with us. Those who have graced the occasion, those who are present over here. Firstly, I extend my sincere gratitude to my Lord Justice Uday Umesh Lalit for sparing his valuable time and accepting our invitation on the first count. This is indeed a moment of pride and honor for the members of the High Court Bar Association when Honorable Sri Justice Uday Lalit is present amongst us. It is quite evident, considering looking to the crowd present over here, members from all ages. I can see youngsters, students from law colleges, young lawyers, senior lawyers, judges, senior judges, members from the judiciary. That shows a lawyer who came from Solapur, established in Mumbai, started practicing all over India, and reaching to the highest pedestal of Indian judicial system. Further, we thank Honorable Chief for his attempt, for his easy, smooth functioning like early listing of matters, circulations, functioning of at least one constitutional bench throughout the year, the issues concerning infrastructure for the lower judiciary as well, for the legal aid as well. He has always encouraged us, being as an advocate from this end or from the other end as a judge. He is a true icon whom I think all the members would love to follow. Few moments ago, my Lord Sahib quoted a poem which reminded me of another poem. That's poem by Robert Frost, I suppose, which says that woods are lovely, dark and deep, and we have to go miles and miles away. My Lords have initiated some drastic changes, and we hope that would reach to all corners of judicial system, so that the faith of a common man in the judicial system would get further strengthened. On behalf of the High Court Bar Association, I welcome Mrs. Uday Lalit to this Orange City on this auspicious occasion. I further extend my sincere gratitude for sparing your valuable time. I extend my sincere gratitude, and with deep sense of gratitude, I thank the member of this bar, my Lord Bhushan Gavai, who has accepted a request and has graced the ceremony as the chief guest of today's function. CJI shall always remain grateful for his innate humility, easy accessibility, even if he remains extremely busy while discharging his duties at the highest office. I am also grateful to the guest of honors, Mr. Deepankar Datta, the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Mr. Vikas Shirpurkar sir, former Judge Supreme Court of India, for sparing their valuable time and sharing some anecdotes and for guiding us. I am also thankful to Honorable Chief Justice Prasanna Varale sir, Honorable Chief Justice Sunil Shukre, Honorable Chief Justice Atul Chandurkar, Mr. Bhushan Dharmadhikari, former Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Honorable Judges of Bombay High Court, past and present, Principal Judge, District Court, Mr. Ashutosh Kumbhakoni, Advocate General, Mr. Anil Singh, Additional Solicitor General of India, Mrs. Ketki Joshi, Government Pleader, Mr. Nandesh Deshpande, Assistant Solicitor General of India, members of Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, senior members of this August Bar Association, President and Secretaries of District Bar Associations from entire Vidarbha region. I thank you all for gracing this occasion. I am also thankful to Mr. Mahendra Chandwani sir, Ravindra Sadarani sir, Mr. Amit Joshi, and entire staff of the registry for their constant help and support. I am also thankful to the respected guests who have graced the occasion, the Collector, the Commissioner, Commissioner of Police, Principal Commissioner of Income Tax. I am also grateful, more particularly to Mr. Bhandas Kulkarni sir, who has unconditionally extended his guidance and support all through the journey till this date, and I am sure he will continue to do so. I am also thankful to the members of Police Force, officers of Traffic Police, officers of PWD Division 1, staff of the MLA Hostel. I am also grateful to the Vice Chancellor, Mr. Vijendra Kumar, Mr. Ashish Dikshit, Registrar of Maharashtra National Law University, Mr. Rahul Pandey, State Information Commissioner, members of the High Court Bar Association, members of the print and electronic media, reporters who are present over here, and in whose presence, I must say, the felicitation function in turn emerged as a ceremony for all of us. I am thankful to all respected senior advocates, colleagues who extended their valuable help and guidance to make this event as a successful one. Thank you once again for gracing the occasion and making this a big successful and indeed a memorable ceremony. Thank you.
May I request all of you to kindly rise for the national anthem.